What's up, fantastic friend? What's up, bam. Yo, what's up, everyone? This is the End-to-End Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Yun Win. As my friends know me as the Prolific Ninja or just Ninja, because I want my listeners to be my friends, you could call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the beginning to the end, the alpha to the omega, talking about life, inspiration, motivation, entrepreneurship, success, and offering food for thought for that all-you-can-eat buffet called life. We have in the studio today none other than Marcus Sloan, a.k.a. Sloan, a.k.a. Big Sloan. He got the tightest sneaker game in the basketball grassroots promotion business. But I want to welcome Marcus Sloan to the studio today. What's up, Marcus? Happy New Year to you, man.
What's going on, man? Happy New Year. Thank you for having me. I always need that type of introduction. I'm going to start taking you everywhere I go.
Hey, man, I'll be a hype man anytime, man.
When I go to the grocery store, when I walk in the grocery store, I need to get the introduction.
I'll come in first. But see, if it gets too far, we're going to have people throwing rose petals in front when you walk, too, now.
Like Prince Akeem.
There you go, man. No, super stoked to have you, brother. You know, I admire what you're doing. I admire what you've done, your life story, where you're taking yourself. So, you know, happy to have you in here as our first guest. How's it feel to be the first guest on the podcast,
you know what?
man?
I always like making history. So
Yeah.
I'm, again, very happy, very excited to be your first guest. I think it's a great opportunity just for people to get to know who I am a little bit more, get to know what I do, get to learn about what I do, the passions I have. So, again, I'm definitely excited.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And to my guests that are watching on video, I am on day 13 of the 75 Hard Challenge, so you're going to see me drink a lot of water. One of the requirements of the 5 is you got to drink a gallon of water a day, and so I'm going to be pounding this thing. It's not vodka, not alcohol. It is pure water. So, Marcus, man, we're going to talk about a lot of things today to help the audience get to know you, you know, what you're about, your business, where you want to take your business, you know, things that can inspire them and motivate them. As I mentioned, you know, one of our goals is to positively affect billions of lives across the planet. And that's through shared experiences, right? Mm-hmm. So before we get to that, why don't we talk about sort of you? Like sort of give people a perspective of, you know, where you come from. You know, so talk to me about like sort of where you grew up, your upbringing through like high school basketball.
So born and raised here in Houston, proud Houstonian, my whole life here. Mom and dad, Lee Sloan, passed away brain cancer in 2013. My mom, Deborah Sloan, and I have a younger sibling, my brother Trey Sloan. He's 3 years younger now, so he's 36. Again, man, born and raised here in Houston. Grew up on the north side of Houston, Acres Homes area, and then we ended up moving to Greens Point when I was a little bit older. Very, very tight-knit family unit. We used to call ourselves the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
The four of us.
Okay.
My parents and my brother and myself, and again, man, we were close. We grew up humble upbringings, for sure, in Acres Homes. I tell people my brother and I shared a bed until I was 17, maybe. So, you know, we didn't have much.
Man, is that a twin size? Because that's tight.
No, you know what? So, when we were Acres Homes, actually, we both had twin beds, and we moved and we shared like a king bed.
Okay.
And so, again, man, just really, really tight-knit family.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, my brother and I were close growing up. Our family was really close.
Okay.
And then I was a product of Aldine ISD throughout my whole scholastic career.
Okay.
Finishing up at Eisenhower High School.
Okay.
Played 4 years of basketball there. But growing up, man, I played in different leagues. Acres Homes Youth Sports Association League, different leagues on the north side, YMCA, Greens Point YMCA. Growing up, just kind of trying to figure out what I was good at. I was kind of tall.
Yeah. Okay. So when did like so
funny story.
Yeah.
I was in the 7th grade. I was in the we're in our house, and my mom's 5'7", and so we were looking.
So not a tall for a lady. For a lady, yes.
Yeah. And so we were looking in the mirror. I was sitting next to her, just looking in the mirror, and I looked, and we looked at each other. We were the same height. Huh. She thought, "Oh, you're pretty tall. You're 5'7" in 7th grade." I was like, "I guess I am kind of tall."
Okay. And
so then my spurt kind of started in 7th grade. I went from 5'7" as a 7th grader, 6'2" as an 8th grader, 6'5" as a 9th grader, 6'7" as a 10th grader. So just those 4 kind of years.
So that's a foot and 4 years-ish?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
What about your shoe size, man?
Oh, I always had big feet. So even like when I was 12, I wore a size 12.
Damn.
Yeah. And so when I was 16, I wore 15, 16. That's
okay, so as you're growing up, okay, so just take us back a little bit. So this podcast hopefully is being heard worldwide. So just kind of give me an idea. You and I, Houston, I grew up in Houston for multiple decades. So you and I kind of know that near North Side.
Yes.
But kind of describe to those that don't know Houston what that, the goods and bads, man.
I grew up in Acres Homes. It's part of Acres Homes that are very, it's very affluent. So people with some money in Acres Homes. Then it's a part of Acres Homes where it's not so affluent. It's single family homes or maybe medium income families live there. And again, people there, we have a sense of pride from Acres Homes. And, we love where we're from. Again, the part where I grew up, we weren't, in the very affluent. Yeah. But again, my parents never made me feel like we weren't. I always felt like with the love that we had everything that we needed.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
And so, what occupations did your parents have?
My dad was an electrician by trade. And so, he worked at Home Depot for a little bit.
Okay.
And then after that, he became a corrections officer at the boot camp at Humboldt and Atascocita. Okay. And my mom, she was a librarian. First, she was interior decorator. Okay. And then once we were school age, she kind of wanted to be home with us more on the weekends, and the retail life for her was a little bit tough. So she got into the school system and she became a librarian. And she was in the library for at least 17 to 20 years.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. So a lot of community service already
absolutely.
In your upbringing.
For sure.
And so do those values, are they translating to you today, or sort of like, or as you gone on,
Even growing up, my brother and I, we were in Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that, man. Okay.
Yeah, we were in Boy Scouts growing up for 3 or 4 years. So just the whole community service aspect. My mom, she was a cheerleading coach in the youth, in our youth football league. So again, just giving her time doing that. So like you said, community has always been big for me. And I always tell people I want to be community and business. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Some guys.
Well, that's part of it, right?
Right.
Yeah, you got to give back. If you get some, you got to give back.
Absolutely.
Right. That's part of it.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So then you said what's your brother's name?
Trey.
Trey. You and Trey were tight growing up.
Yep,
competitive tight. I got 3 older brothers.
Well, both.
So talk to me about that relationship.
So he's 3 years younger than I am. So growing up, he always wanted to hang with big brother and his friends, and a lot of times it was just he and I. So after games, some of my teammates, they would go hang out, go to the club, maybe go with friends. Were I just went home and hung out with him on on the video game. Watching movies. Even growing up, things we like to do. We like to go to Blockbuster Video. A lot of people
back in the day, man.
People know Blockbuster Video. We would go to Blockbuster Video every Friday. Rent video games.
Okay. So let's be honest now. Did you ever, as a teenager, go into that section where you're not supposed to go?
I did. I did. No, I was super straight. Like,
man, that's
now,
one.
Not so much now, but when I was younger, I was
I got you, man.
Super straight.
No, that's one thing, bro. You bring up that just a side note, man. Blockbuster Video. I remember
Video.
That was like an experience.
Absolutely, man.
Right?
Absolutely.
You get to go there with your friends or your family, and you get to cruise the aisles and look at covers and all. You get the discs in your hand, right,
bro?
Like
Blockbuster Video was a big deal, man.
A huge deal.
So going there again for us, those video games back then were like $40, $50 for one game.
Yeah.
So for us, we can go in there and rent it for the weekend and play it and get that same experience. It was a huge deal for us.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, side note, man, because it's kind of a business podcast too, is that Blockbuster did have a chance to buy Netflix early.
I did not know that.
Early.
It's
tough.
That's
dude,
very
tough.
That's
something
we could.
we can get into that, man. You got to evolve. You got to see the future, right?
It's one of those things. It's like it was the movie No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those things like you have to be able to know when to hold them and when to fold them almost. And that's a very good lesson. Yeah. Actually, in business.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, so you and Trey, shout out to Trey. What is Trey doing these days?
Trey works for Amazon now. He's back here. He was in New Jersey with his wife and his daughters for a little bit, but now he's back here in Houston.
Okay, did he ever get as active into basketball as you did?
When he was younger, he was in middle school and his first couple years in high school. But it's one of those things I think people expected him to play because I played. Right, and then after a while, I was like, "Yo, listen, if you don't love it, you don't have to play, bro. Be who you are. Be your own.
That's very important to kids these days. Like I think,
you gotta love it, man.
You gotta love it.
You have to love it.
But to your point though, you said you got to be your own.
Be your own man.
Be your own man.
Yes.
And I think social is starting to push the youth into trying to be like other people.
Absolutely.
Right? Social media, talking about social,
Yeah.
versus like learning the skills to become your own person.
Correct.
Right? So, and I got a 14-year-old boy. He's, thankfully he's starting to see that, I can be myself.
Even my kids are 7, 8, 9. Like, they are looking at social media, looking like, hey, like, who's this? My son asking about, different players and different kids, even in high school.
Yeah.
Trying to say, oh, I saw this guy on YouTube that he dribbles like this, he shot like this. So it's, even for my son, he's 8 years old, he's trying to figure out who he is as a kid, as a player. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So we move into high school, and you're at Eisenhower.
Ike. Yeah.
I remember playing against them. Running against them in track, not playing basketball. I didn't have that size in high school. So talk to me about your experience at Eisenhower as a student athlete. Were you playing varsity as a freshman, or sort of talk about your early basketball experience?
High school.
Yeah.
So my freshman year in high school, we actually lived in Westfield's zone.
Okay.
But because my mom worked in the library at Drew Academy, which is an Aldine ISD school, we were allowed to go to Aldine ISD schools. But so my freshman year, because I didn't live in Eisenhower zone and I was going to play varsity, I had to sit out like for 15 days, basically, when the season started. So I started my freshman season on JV, and I killed JV, played a couple of tournaments. I was like, oh.
Well, you're 6'7" already, right?
I was 6'5".
6'5", okay, 6'5", okay.
And I killed JV, was fantastic. And I got moved up to varsity my freshman year. Now I didn't play as much on varsity as I did on JV. Right. And in hindsight, I should have stayed on JV probably my freshman year for the confidence and experience. But I ended up moving back up to varsity the rest of the year. So I played varsity all 4 years at Eisenhower.
Nice. Yep. Nice. And so at what point in your high school playing career did you get a sense that you might
be pretty good?
to get a college D1 kind of situation,
We didn't even know about college scholarships at all.
So there was no mentorship at that time? Your coaches, nobody like, hey, man, you got skills, you might be able to do something.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, it wasn't until my freshman year I started getting recruiting letters in the mail, and my first one was from SMU. Then I got my second one from U of H. I was like, what's this? And my coach was like, yeah, you have some mail from colleges.
Oh, so they mailed your coach and he handed it to you.
Well, they emailed it. They mailed it to me at my school. So it came to the school with my name on it.
Okay.
And so,
what's that feel like, man? You're like, what the?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, he called me in the office. He was like, hey, you got some mail from some colleges. I'm like, yo, what's this? He was like, yeah, you can get a scholarship playing basketball. My mom always told us about academic scholarships. We knew nothing about athletic scholarships growing up. So she would take us to museums and all the art museums, science museums. Like growing up, we were younger, elementary, middle school age, and tell us, hey, because she used to say, I don't have any money for college, so you better get an academic scholarship. But there was no mention of an athletic scholarship because I don't think they understood how that worked. So my freshman year, I started getting letters. My high school coach told me, you can get a scholarship. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. So I showed my mom, like, listen, these people are already interested in me as a freshman. I'm 15 years old, and then from there, I kind of my mind, I was like, well, maybe I can be pretty good at basketball.
Okay, yeah. So you bring up a lot of points, man. Even to this day, a lot of people don't know how the athletic scholarship system works, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of talented, lower income kids that don't get that exposure, right? And so I think that was a gift from your mom to at least expose you early to a lot of facets outside of your community or where you live. Or sports, right?
She was great at that. To the museums, to the exhibits, we were very well cultured as kids. Yeah, it's one of those things. That's what I said. I didn't even know we didn't really have money. Yeah, we went to the museums. Yeah, we went to different places. Yeah. So in my mind, I felt like we were everyone lived like this. Yeah. So I got older. I went to a friend's house in Inwood. His house is a little bit different now. Yeah. But no, she did a great job giving us as much culture as she could.
Yeah. And it's kind of just a side note talking about kids because we both got them and raising them. I think exposure early is really important. Very important. Because you're only living life through the perspective that you have, right? Correct. So if you don't get a lot of exposure to things outside your norm, you're going to kind of have a limited view on life and not just life, but what the opportunities are in life, right? So the more you're exposed to, the more you view, hey, these are different possible avenues that I could potentially pursue. So it's kind of, and translating that to social media, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because at the same time, social can expand your views of life.
Yes, it can.
Across the planet.
Yes, it can.
But you're stuck on your phone. So there's a difference between
Experiencing
seeing,
it,
tasting, feeling,
yeah.
touching that experience and
Living it,
exposure versus viewing it. But so, okay, man, so back to your basketball career. So you're getting letters of your freshman year.
So then, I'm getting letters my freshman year, and then one of the secretaries at my school, she said, "Hey, my uncle, he has an AAU basketball team." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, the Houston Jaguars." So she gives me his card. We call him. We come to the first practice, and this dude's in there that can really play. And I'm like, shit, I don't know if I'm like good.
You're not like that, huh?
Yeah. I didn't in my mind, and so that was kind of my first AAU experience with the Houston Jaguars, and just a fluke. The lady, secretary of my school, she saw I was tall. I played basketball. She gave me a card. We called a number, and like that's what got us in the AAU. And so that was my freshman. In my sophomore year, I meet a guy by the name of
hold that thought.
Okay.
So for the audience, kind of date this. So this is around.
This is 97.
97. So this is
freshman year.
So when did AAU really take off? Was this before?
No, this was right around the time.
Right around the time where, because AAU used to be like like YMCA, right?
Like about 95, 96, AAU exploded here in Texas.
Okay, that's like when shoe companies started coming through and sponsoring tournaments and all that. So that's so you kind of hit it.
Yeah, like right. On the
right that on. Okay.
So it's 97.
Okay, so you get into the AAU gym.
So summer of 98.
Between freshman sophomore year.
Yep.
Okay.
So now between my freshman heading to my sophomore year, I meet a guy by the name of John Urey, who still runs the Houston Superstars. And my high school we played at Yates High School, and it was his tournament in the spring of 98. He had his own tournament, and our high school got in it.
Your high school team, not your AAU team.
Eisenhower's AAU team got in. Eisenhower's high school team got in it to play against other AAU teams in John Urey's tournament. And so we playing in Urey's tournament. My teammate and I play really well. And so he's like, "Hey, I want you guys to play for me."
Okay.
Now, Houston Superstars.
Okay.
And his reputation preceded himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was this big shot. And we heard like some negative things, like he doesn't feed the kids when they're on road trips, like little crazy shit, right? So I was like, And so he was saying, I want you on my team, but I wanted to stay with the Houston Jaguars.
Okay.
And so that following weekend, it was a tournament in Kingwood. He invited my parents and I to the game. And so I wasn't on this team yet. My team had already left.
Okay.
And I saw how good the team was and how well he played. I was like, yeah, I'm out.
I got to play with that team.
Got to play with them. So I meet John Urey, and I started playing with the Houston Superstars. Changes my whole life.
Okay. So we'll get into that. So let's talk about back then. So you're 6'5", 6'7", on your way to 6'7". Filled out or skinny, man?
Super
Like
skinny.
super skinny. Like, what was your weight? We're carrying 170 on a 6'5" frame, man.
Very skinny.
That's gaunt, bro.
Lanky.
Lanky.
Very lanky,
okay.
Yes.
Athletic wise, speed.
I was pretty
durability,
fast.
like sort of what was.
Yeah, I was strong, fast. I was a defender, rebounder, energy guy.
Okay.
I was not very strong. I was decent skill wise, but I didn't start getting my athleticism until later on in high school.
Okay.
Yep.
So nowadays, and even my son plays it. You know, my son plays AU, and he has his own trainer.
Yep.
Does side work outside of teamwork, and then he puts in his own work.
Yeah, never.
Back in those days,
there was no trainer.
No trainers.
It was your coach
and your driveway basketball rim. And that's it.
Like my dad bought us a basketball goal, and that's where I would watch Akeem Olajuwon the Rockets.
Yeah, footwork, dream shakes,
and just the whole nine fadeaways, and I would practice that in the driveway.
Yeah,
and so like that was my trainer.
Yeah.
And so even on the north side, even having an AAU team, there was no teams where we grew up. There was no AAU teams even on our side of town.
Okay.
We always had to go to practice at Yates or Willow Ridge or U of H, somewhere on the south, because there just weren't that many AAU teams. There weren't any AAU teams.
So this was a serious commitment.
Oh, absolutely.
For your parents, for your family, sacrifices. So talk about that, man. A lot of people don't know that, like the travel and the time requirements. 3-4 practices a week, so 2-3 hours.
It's something I'm dealing with now, actually, with my own kids. It's
okay, talk to me about that.
You want to build an empire.
Yeah.
Build this huge company.
Yes.
To be a boss.
Yes.
And make a lot of money. Well, that requires you, in my field, to be gone a lot.
Yeah.
To have my own events and then go to other people's events.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, you miss out on soccer games, baseball games, even time with your kids on the weekends.
Yeah.
Because you're always gone.
Tournaments on weekends, man.
And
Thursday
so
to Sunday, yeah.
And my dad, for sure, he made the sacrifice or decision to be about the family and about the kids, my brother and I. And so his job, he was off on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
He was not an entrepreneur. He had a 9-to-5 job. My mom, she quit her retail job to be with us too, so they could take us to practice and to games. But it was a significant sacrifice for them, like even driving from
the practices,
the north side to Willow Ridge, which was 40 minutes from us.
Yeah.
You know, one way.
Yeah.
So we practice, and then you practice at late at night.
Yeah.
You know, so we practice late at night at 7:30 or 7. So I'm not getting home till 9 o'clock. That's my dad taking me there, taking me back.
Yeah.
Again, just they made tremendous sacrifices.
Yeah. So you youth athletes out there, always thank your parents, man, because you have to. You got to show that appreciation. They're doing a lot of things, sacrificing a lot of time and money and effort to help you fulfill your dreams, man. So youth athletes, make sure you thank your parents. So so you're getting into this AAU squad.
Yep.
And at this time, a lot of colleges are looking at you.
Well, so now I play one summer with John Urie, and I go to this prestigious Adidas ABCD camp, which is
invited,
which is one of the top camps. It was a top camp in the country that night. He came back in the day, and so play one summer with him. Go to this camp. Recruiting blows up.
Rest is history.
Rest is history. I'm getting calls by 20, 30 schools a day. Literally mailbox full of mail from colleges. You know, back in the day, we didn't have cell phones, so we had the landline. So they were calling the house phone. We calling the house phone all the time.
Okay.
And
how long was that phone cord, man, wrapped around the wall?
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then we ended up getting a cordless.
Yeah, okay.
And so then we ended up getting 2 lines.
Yeah, okay.
In my house. One for my parents, and then one for the college coaches. Actually,
man, all these things kids don't know about these days, bro. You know,
we had 2 cordless phones in the house, and so then back in the day, if you didn't charge the cordless phone, it would die on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, so it was time had to be reminded to charge the cordless phone. You want to talk to the coaches. So, but no, the college coaches started calling and recruiting me now after the one summer with the superstars, and from there.
So you played AAU junior and senior year too?
Yeah, so I played 3 years with John Urie, superstars, and so it just from my sophomore summer, it just took off.
Took off.
Yep.
So in my experience, a lot of kids coming in that are 6'4", 6'5" plus in high school, coaches would pigeonhole them in the post. That's it. Which is different these days because now you got 7-foot guards, right? So
from the 90s, I would say the 90s.
Yeah.
If you were 6'4" or taller, you automatically played the post.
Okay.
Automatically. In Texas.
Yeah.
In Texas. Now across the country, there were 6'6" guards everywhere. At our age, we were like, yo, this dude's 6'7", he's playing a guard.
Like, got handles and
all that. Shoot it from 3, but in Texas, you were a 5 or 4.
You post. Body up.
No question.
Bang it down in the post, man.
Now, there's 16 kids that play the wing.
Yeah.
Back then, in the 90s, you played the post.
Yeah.
Without question.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, how involved were your parents in the recruitment process? Like, talk to me about the recruitment process. They were making your decision, So,
my mom has been always influential, obviously, with my academics growing up. And my dad was a sports guy. And so the college recruiting process is really the best of both worlds because now you're making this decision about where you're going to spend the next 4 years of your life. And this determines a lot. Where you pick the college, what college you choose, people say, who you marry and what college you choose determines your futures, especially in business.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So this was a big decision for our family. And so in the recruiting process, my family, my mom and dad, the 3 of us kind of made a decision. And my coach, John Urie, he was a part of it. My high school coach a little bit too, but it was a family decision. So we were heavily, heavily involved. And when college coaches came on the home visits, my mom asked all the questions.
Yeah.
Like tons of questions she asked, very inquisitive woman. And so just to make sure that, she knew what we were getting into going to that next level.
Okay. So, for those kids getting recruited these days, what would be like the top 3 issues or questions that your parents wanted to know for sure before they said, hey, Marcus, I recommend you going to wherever you ended up?
A great question. I think my mom wanted to know, will he be taken care of as a kid? You know, this is his first time really being away from home.
Yeah.
Will he be taken care of as a kid? I think academically, will he be able to graduate? Was there a second thing? And then lastly was, you know, the basketball part for her and my dad. Like, you know, will he get a chance to play?
Yeah, he's going to ride the bench for 3 years and then get to play. Okay.
Yeah. So those were the big three questions for them, for my parents.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
during my recruiting process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those all important, man. Especially, you know, you're 17, 18 years old, man. You don't even know up from down at that age, bro.
I tell this story. My senior year, you know, I already committed to TCU.
Yeah.
This was spring. I was like, I'm excited to go to college. I can't wait to leave home.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I used to tell my mom, I'm not going to cry. So you just know when I leave here, I'm happy I'm in a new place. So they drive, you know, they take me to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
They pack my room, unpack the car, get my room set up. And so now I had left, I obviously playing AAU, you leave your parents 3-4 days at a time.
Yeah.
But I had never left my parents for an extended period of time longer than maybe a week my whole life, right? So born and raised here in Houston. I'm not going to stay with aunt and uncle for the summer.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here. They pack my room up. They get in the car to leave. I give them a hug. Her eyes already watering, my mom.
Okay.
I'm like, why are you crying? I'm just down the street in Fort Worth. It's not that bad.
4 hours away.
Yo, they get in the car and they drive off. Just like the movies. You know when you see a car drive off and you can't see it anymore?
It goes off in the distance.
View?
Yeah, it's out of view.
When I didn't see him out the car anymore, like my eyes welled up.
That's good.
And so I went back to my room. I cried for like 30 minutes.
Oh, man.
So I called my mom, like, hey, yo. I called my dad, like, Dad, he was like, are you crying? I was like, yes, I am. He was like, your mom's crying too.
Yeah.
And so it is funny. It was a running joke. It was like she cried from Fort Worth to the Sam Houston statue. You know?
Well, that's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's it, like in Huntsville, Texas. So
right.
yeah, it's 3 hours south of Fort Worth.
Correct. So
wow.
No, but yeah, it was a traumatic deal for all of us because for the first time, like I was.
Well, it's a big moment. It's a big step, right?
Absolutely.
Independence, right?
Yes.
Like true
independence.
I mean, you're taken care of with your coach and your squad and all that, but it's you on your own.
On my own. Yeah.
Which you bring up a good deal, man, because a lot of people would look at you being 6'7", now probably, I don't know, at that time, 200 maybe?
Maybe 205.
205.
Maybe, yeah.
But, you're a big dude.
Yep.
And then now you got your heart on your sleeve, which is important, right? Vulnerability is not a non-masculine thing, right?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Like, it's okay for men to have some emotion. Man, you're leaving your house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you're leaving mom and dad, and that's that kind of security blanket, bro.
It was very emotional for me.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, man. So then, like I said, I have 3 older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm like an oops baby, man. I'm like way younger than my 3 older. But there's a competitiveness sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting all this shine.
Yeah.
Over your high school career, getting recruited, mailbox full, phone calls every 20 minutes, whatever. Mm-hmm. How does Trey handle this or feel about this during this time?
So really, in my mind, and my wife and I talked about this today, I felt like Trey and I, like it was ours.
Okay.
Because we were so close. Like when I would get a letter, I would let him read it, or I would tell him, or he would see the schools recruiting me. Or he would hear the phone calls, and then he, my last summer, he and my dad went on AAU trips with us.
Yeah.
Or we go to Chicago, New Jersey. So like he got a chance to see all that. So for me, it felt like we were doing this together.
Yeah.
So like my college recruitment was also his college recruitment because we were close.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so in my mind, I never really thought about how it made him feel because I thought he was going along the journey with me.
That's cool.
So
That's
one
cool.
of those things like, again, he was my biggest cheerleader for sure and my biggest fan.
Yeah.
And I needed him to be that.
Yeah.
Like if I go home out of a bad game, sometimes kids don't want to talk to parents. When my brother was there, he would give me encouragement or but don't worry, that was a good game and they should have called that foul on you. I got that from him. And like I said, I needed that to sometimes keep me going and keep me motivated and let me know, hey, somebody's like with me who's not necessarily just want to critique my game or has negative shit to say, like my brother like had my back.
Yeah. I think everybody needs that support network. When you're trying to do something great, it can be a lonely road, man. It is. In fact, it is a lonely road because you have those thoughts to yourself all the time.
All the time.
So having that wingman or somebody there that is going to be there thick and thin.
Absolutely.
And female, male, whatever. can give you that. I think that little extra boost of confidence,
No,
right?
you
Like
need it.
I can't fuck up in front of this guy.
No
like
way.
in his
Absolutely.
eyes,
In
right?
his eyes.
He'll
Yeah,
see it
no.
as it is, and like, hey, you could have improved, could have played better, but you didn't.
Absolutely.
You know, I was like this. That's huge. So did he go to college too then?
He went to college. He went to Prairie for a year, and then U of H, and then and then he did, because sometimes college isn't for everyone.
Right, of course
And
not.
and my mom had to like learn that too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard for her during that time, but I had to tell her mom like, college isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people, they aren't cut out for college, or the system is not for them. They have to find
That's
again,
very true. That's
find
very,
their own way.
especially today.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's a
man.
huge debate. I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking to my son.
Yep.
Entrepreneurship is huge.
Huge.
Opportunities are huge. Technology leverages a lot. So college might not always be for everyone. and
Absolutely.
unless you're gonna be a doctor, lawyer, some type of licensed professional,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
You got to go to
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
But other than that, it's a huge debate whether
Yeah, no, man.
it's worth it.
Even again, my wife and I talk about all the time is like, nowadays you do even have to go to college. I know
Yeah.
so many successful people who never step foot on a
Yeah,
campus.
just work hard.
Just work. And I know
Believe in
people
yourself. Yeah,
who
right.
have 2 or 3 degrees
Yeah.
can't get a job.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things like,
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
200,000 in debt. Worth it.
come on, man.
Right.
Student
Right.
loans for that.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're at TCU, man. What was like what was like the biggest shock to your system
Honestly,
getting into college ball, man? Like going to college.
Well,
and-
just even on campus, the biggest shock. I went to Eisenhower High School, which is at the time predominantly, I would say, 60%, 70% Black, African American in my high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was in classes with other races, yes, but TCU when I got there was maybe 2% Black, and so most of that 2% were athletes. So that was kind of a big deal, like only seeing athletes on the Black people on campus that I saw were athletes. And we were all close and knew each other, but that was kind of a little bit of a culture shock a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like the only people on campus I kick it with, not
Yeah.
kick it with, but that look like me
Yeah.
are athletes.
Yeah.
So like that was the biggest, I guess, transition for me.
So it's like a kind of cultural thing, but you were accepted there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
accepted,
It
of
wasn't
course.
like
And again-
y'all are over here and we're over here.
And again, because
right?
my mom exposed me to other races and other things early on, I was okay, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just day to day walking on campus, not seeing as many non-athletes that weren't Black.
Right,
It was
right.
a little bit different.
Right.
On the court, I just think the level of play was so high for me at times. I wasn't ready. Physically, I wasn't ready. Skill-wise, I wasn't ready as a freshman to play at that level.
So let's unpack that a little bit.
Yeah.
You got a lot there, man.
Yeah.
So apprentice stuff. So we're talking about Fort Worth in the late 90s,
Early 2000s.
early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And, if for those of y'all international or whatever, Fort Worth is a city,
Very affluent.
affluent city, about, I don't know, hour and a half west of Dallas.
45 minutes, 50 minutes west of Dallas.
Okay, so it's incorporated in the DFW Metroplex, right? So North Texas and TCU Division I.
Division One, Conference USA, which is now will be considered the American Conference. So
Yeah.
Very talented teams we played against.
Okay.
Even my own teammates were pretty good. I mean, just coming in as a freshman,
Yeah.
feeling like, yeah, I'm ready to play, and then you go on campus like, shit, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not skilled enough. I'm not strong enough.
Yeah.
So me every day having to realize like I have to keep improving. And I think what I did my senior year, especially my junior summer going to my senior, I started reading my own press clippings. So back then, like the fucking message boards on, the website.
Like the Yahoo message board. So
they had like all these sports message boards, and
Okay,
recruiting
yeah.
websites
Yeah, okay.
just starting to kick off.
okay.
So I would see my name on these All-American lists or top 100 in the country list or these message board schools talking about me coming, and like, so now I'm like, y'all made it. I'm here, dog.
Yeah.
I made
Yeah.
it. I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that hurt my growth as a player because I thought I was already
thought you were
there.
So you had to eat some humble pie a
Oh,
little
my
bit,
God,
man.
Absolutely. For about 2 years, I ate humble pie.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll get into that. I really like that topic because for me, your experience in sports is kind of like me academically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything was easy. Almost a straight A student in high school. Number 2 in my class. Going to college, easy,
Yeah.
Phi Beta Kappa, whatever, all the accolades academically, and thought I was all that. Things just
Yeah.
came easy, tests,
Yeah.
easy, cram,
Yeah.
last minute, let's go, take the exam, boom, boom, boom. End up in medical school, which is kind of like college basketball, and then all of a sudden you're in the room with 200 other smart people too.
Very competitive.
Very competitive, and you know, not having experienced failure actually was earlier than that was a detriment.
Absolutely. Adversity.
Yeah. Like saying, hey, no, man, you're not all that. You got to learn. I think through adversity, you're learning those skills to cope and overcome. And when you're at that level where competition is so tight, you don't have time. You don't have time for that.
No.
You don't have time for that. So my view would be fail early as a student or whatever you're trying to do. And that applies to business too. So we'll get into that. Yeah. So you're in there knowing what you know now, those first 2 years where you're eating humble pie.
I would have worked.
What would you have done differently in high school?
I think I would have developed a better work ethic in high school.
Meaning
going to the gym more. Again, it's one of those things my parents didn't really know. Shit, I was good. You know, I was one of the better players in Houston, in the state, in the country.
Yeah.
So, again, they were like, okay, this is all new for all of us.
Yeah.
The attention, the recruitment, the message board, shit, all that was new for my family. I was the oldest. I'm the oldest child. My dad played football in high school. He was pretty good. He ended up getting hurt, so he never played in college.
Okay.
He went to the military. So it's all new for us. But hindsight, I wish I would have kept working. I wish I would have got stronger. I wish I could have found a fucking trainer maybe. My skill set.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been more prepared. But again, you don't know what you don't know.
Right. So first off, thanks to your dad for his service.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And all our veterans out there. How much time, in retrospect, do you feel you wasted in high school where you could have applied to training? In other words, because I see a lot of kids these days, they're putting 5 hours on TikTok and 3 hours on video games, and they're just wasting their youth and their time.
Well,
if you had a message to them today,
about just work, dog. Like the
what does it take? Like, what does it require? You know what I'm saying?
The biggest message I tell these kids is like the things that you want or that you have now that you think are so important, right? The social media shit, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Snapchat, or even like your girlfriends or boyfriends. Like the thing that you find that you can't live without or you want to do, like if you really put the time and work in your craft, it'll pale in comparison to what you really get.
Right.
Pale in comparison.
Yeah. In terms of like happiness, fulfillment.
In terms of fulfillment, happiness, the success you're having. Again, the everyday, I tell kids, you guys you think these girls you talking to on Instagram or Snapchat are pretty now.
Yeah.
Imagine working on your game and like getting to the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
or like the things you want now, like you got a nice car for your 19th birthday. Imagine if you put work in and like really work the car you can get if you work at it. And in the end, not even making it to the NBA. Let me say that too. In anything you do, if you have an entrepreneurship, like imagine if you got off social media and just like put everything down, right? And just really worked at it. Put your head down, got to work, learn the shit, learn the skill set, learn how to be better. Like you look up 2 years from now, it's completely different.
Yeah. So you bring up a very good point, something I believe in wholeheartedly now, which I learned later in life, is that when I was young, I was always focused on the goal. Mm-hmm. And if you're always looking at the goal, you forget about the details in the process.
It's the journey.
It's the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta.
I mean, I think that's every person who wants to be successful. We tend to like everything's goal driven, but the real beauty of it and the real, I guess, reward is the journey. Yeah. You look back and say, I went through all this shit to get to here.
Yeah.
Like, what did I learn within myself?
Yeah.
What did I learn within the business? How did I push myself?
Yeah.
What did I sacrifice to get here?
Yeah.
And then once you understand how important the journey is, you can always go back to that memory, always go back to those things that you did to get to the next thing.
Yeah, I like that. So focus on the process and the goals will reveal themselves.
Correct.
Right? Very cool. So spending more time on your training you would have done. So
100%.
So you're at TCU. Mm-hmm. What position are you playing?
I'm a 4.
You're 4. Yeah. So power forward for those that don't know basketball. So power forward. Yeah. Division I, you're all going across the country.
Yep, playing games.
Like how did your game compare? So you grew up in a regional game around Texas.
Yeah.
How did your game compare when you started going to like West Coast, East Coast, Northeast?
That's when I saw I wasn't who I thought I was yet. That's why I had to get better. So it wasn't until my junior, senior year in college that I realized, like, oh, I should have been working more. And even when I was in college, same. I got to college. I got a girlfriend in college.
Yeah.
I just want to be with her.
Your big man on campus.
Yeah, as opposed to, go work, like get in the gym, get stronger in the weight room.
Yeah.
Go work more on your skills.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's what I tell these young guys. It'll come. Doc, trust me.
Yeah.
It'll come. You want to hang out with your girlfriend. Work on your game.
Nothing like success and winning, right? It solves a lot of problems, man, right?
Like
right?
Nothing.
So I agree with that. So there's a meme. So my boy 14, he's a hooper, you know that. And he's getting into some girls now. I tell him, hey Nate, man, make sure you find a girl that's gonna rebound for you when you put up your shots, right?
Absolutely.
If it's a choice between a party or rebounding, and you want to go put up shots, make sure she's gonna rebound for you, right?
Absolutely.
No, it's a meme. But anyway, so now you're in your junior, senior year of college. You see, like, okay, my time here at TCU is about to
I had a coach
go away. So what's next? Like, what happens next?
My junior year, Rick Callahan. My junior year was over, and he asked me an important question. He was like, what do you want your legacy to be here when you leave TCU? He was like,
wow.
Do you want it to be a guy who just played here, like, you didn't win much, or do you want to be someone who has a legacy to remember here?
When was this? Your junior year?
So this was my end of my junior year, going to my senior year.
Okay.
Because again, for me,
so you got 1 year left.
One year left.
What is it going to be, man?
And so when he said that, like, I kind of took it to heart, and like I really worked on my game harder than I ever have.
That summer.
And that conversation, just for my life, it kind of changed me a little bit. So I worked as hard as I ever done, or worked as hard as I ever worked. We had a really good senior year. I had a really good senior year personally.
Okay.
And it was one of those things I look back and I think, like, that conversation really set the tone for a lot of things in my life.
Okay.
And also, too, one of my teammates, he's 2 years older than me. So he played in Europe, and he hadn't gotten paid for like 6 months. He was telling me all the horror stories. And so I didn't want to go play in Europe when I graduated. I was like, I'm not doing that shit.
Okay.
It's 3,000 miles away. I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah.
I'm staying somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
I had already been working with Frito-Lay as an internship in the summers while I was playing with TCU. And my guy, Ron Parker, was the human resource manager for Pepsi.
Okay.
He was big time.
Okay.
So I was like, my coach was like, when you're done playing here, again, great senior year. We set a team record for wins.
Nice.
It was fantastic. He was like, but I was like, I want to get in corporate America. So they were like, you already work with Frito-Lay. We got this program. It's a sales leadership program, right? You get in, you can become a big dog Frito-Lay or Pepsi, which is, it's a big time company. Chips and Coke, Pepsi,
that ain't ever going away, man.
Never going away. So
Recession or
so
not.
I'm going to do that. That's perfect. I'm going to jump in a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Basketball done for me. I had a great career. It's over. So Ron Parker gets me a job in Austin with Frito-Lay. This is now 2005 fall. I graduated. I started my master's in the spring, right? Because I graduated a semester early from TCU. So fall 05, I'm in Frito-Lay. They got me the job.
This after you graduated, you say?
After I graduated.
Okay.
So my season ended in April.
Yeah.
2005.
You're Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay in August.
Okay.
In Austin, Texas. I moved.
Okay.
From Fort Worth.
Okay. Hold on to that chapter. I want to take it back just a tad.
Yep.
Your coach comes to you, assistant coach, or was it?
My assistant coach.
Okay. Rick Callahan. Comes to you, says, what you want your legacy to be.
Yes.
Lit a fire under your ass.
Lit a fire under me.
Okay. You say you worked the hardest you ever worked. Take me through what that means. Like, unwrap that. What does that mean? What is that?
I was in the gym 3 times. I would wake up in the morning at 6, get some shots up.
6 a.m.?
6 a.m. in the summer.
Yeah.
Lift weights with the team.
When you had no reason to be. You could be home with your mom. You should be chilling, relax, whatever.
Could have been in my apartment. When we worked out with the team in the morning, 7 a.m. to 8:30. Went to class from 9 to about 12. Went back to the gym at 12.
On your own?
On my own. Played pickup with the team in the afternoon from like 3 to 5. Every day.
That's 24/7?
24/7, every day. 7 days a week.
The entire summer?
Entire summer and fall.
Okay. Weight training?
Absolutely.
all that
The
cardio
whole
conditioning. So you maintained your shape
Oh yes.
over that summer.
When the season officially started in October, I was ready to go. Very good shape.
So
Team
as
captain, team
compared
leader.
to the 3 prior summers,
did
what
not
would you do?
Chill, be in the apartment, hanging out, going with my girlfriend, chilling.
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying life.
So season starts in October. You gotta get up to speed.
Get up to speed.
Versus you coming in running with momentum already.
Different. Yep.
Okay. So then translate that work onto the court. Were you finding yourself faster than your competitor?
I was
like
stronger, I was better. I was more equipped to handle the rigors of high level Division I basketball.
So you finally your last year, you're like, okay, I
understand what it takes.
I understand what it takes, and I'm level with I'm better now
than
who I'm facing.
Absolutely.
And better than who you were. Obviously,
Correct.
competition is against yourself, right?
Yes.
So, but as a comparative level, you're like, okay, I'm finally
where I should be, where I should have been 3 years ago, almost.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any regrets you didn't find that earlier?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It affected not only my playing time, but I think it probably affected my career earnings because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't settle in and work on my game as I should have. I didn't take my strength conditioning as I should have. And so it might have cost me a chance to make more money with basketball.
Yeah.
During my playing career.
Yeah. Yeah. That's deep, man, because people think they got all the time in the world.
You don't. Shit is
you
short.
don't. Especially when you're on the high.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're at the top of the mountain, you're like, hey, man, that view's far. I got all the time in the world.
All the time. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, you're like, man.
It does. Nope.
Okay, so you're in Austin now. Frito-Lay. You got your cubicle. You're about to clock it.
That's the thing. So, like, I had an office.
Oh, you got corner office.
Yeah, it was
dang, okay.
Like, I was making $50,000 a year at 23 now, about to be 23.
Okay, decent money for out of college, yeah.
Austin,
no debt.
No debt in Austin, chilling. And so the first day, we're like, hey, listen, you're going to be over the guys that drive the trucks. Well, back then, they called them route salesmen.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, all right, cool. They were like, the first month or two, you'll be in the office learning about the role, and then you'll get out and drive the trucks yourself.
You're driving.
Well,
you're like riding. That
was a part of it.
Okay.
The first month I'm in the office, it's chill.
Yeah.
I'm playing in the men's league in Austin. I'm making this money. UT is rolling because that's the year they won the national championship. So I'm going to the football games. I'm living life.
Yeah.
And then Labor Day, I'll never forget, 2005, this shit changed. They're like, okay, you're gonna start to ride along with the drivers. So I had to be at the office, the dock, at like 3 a.m. every morning.
Damn.
Every morning, 3 a.m. 5 out of 7 days.
Okay.
So I'm doing that, but because I'll be managing these guys, so I have to learn what they're doing.
Right.
Day to day.
And who they are.
So I'm riding along, learning how to work the handheld, learn about the equipment, the SKUs, the boxes. So I'm helping them stack the chips on the shelves. I'm helping them break down the boxes. So you're
going to convenience stores, to restaurants,
it's Walmart, HEBs in the Austin area.
Yeah.
Convenience. I'm doing all that.
Yeah.
But primarily it's just the Walmart, the big grocery stores, right?
Okay.
Kroger, Walmart, HEB.
Okay. Big drop-offs.
I did that for a month where I'm riding along. Then after that month, they were like, you got to do it yourself. So now I got to be the driver myself and do the actual job.
No partner in the cab.
No partner, just me.
Just you.
Yo,
you're unloading. You're on the dolly. You're like.
It was the toughest shit I've ever done in my life.
Damn. Manual labor, bro.
3 a.m.
Yep.
Now I'm done by like 2, but yo, I would come home, my hands would be fucking black from all the boxes and touching all that shit. And of true story.
Yeah.
Another thing kind of changed the trajectory of my life. I was in a Walmart in Austin, Texas. True story. And like my handheld was fucking up. The SKUs were wrong. It was chaos. It's like 5 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. Who you gonna call?
And this dude works at Walmart, and I'm like, he sees me frustrated. I'm like, yo, this shit order's wrong, and they got the wrong shit in here. And I'm frustrated. He tells me, he was like, if you would have made more jump shots, you wouldn't be here.
Oh, he told you that?
He said it in a joking way.
So just random.
A random dude. I knew him from being on a route from working at Walmart, so I knew who he was. But
okay.
Joke,
but he didn't know who you were.
No.
He knew you.
He knew me. Like, he knew I played and all that shit. We talked, but like, he said in a joking way.
Kind of rib you a little.
Yeah, rib me a little bit. Yo, you made more jump shots, you wouldn't be here. And yo, that shit, it slapped me in the face.
That cuts deep, bro.
Yo, he's fucking right, actually. If I would have made more jump shots, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
And so that was like late November of 2005, right? So like that sat with me for like a week. I'm like, and then like I started missing basketball. Right at that point, I'm like, damn, there's no practice. Again, I've been doing this shit for
You just playing pickup league
10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing it for 15 years of my life and playing basketball. So now I'm like, damn, it's no games, it's no real practice. Like I miss it.
Yeah.
So
Like lost love, man.
I called my college coach. I'm like, yo, I know y'all gonna say I'm tripping, but I miss basketball. Like, can I please come back? I didn't know what I was like. Let me at least coach or be a graduate assistant.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, cool. Like, call Mr. Parker and tell him. So I called like, Mr. Parker, yo, like, I miss basketball too much. Like, I'm not effective at my job. I don't like this shit. He was like, I understand. They gave me a little severance.
Yeah.
I only been in the company for fucking
2 months.
4 months.
4 months, yeah, man.
They gave me like a little severance to pay off
A
my
little walk
apartment.
around money, something.
To
Yeah.
pay off my apartment in Austin.
Yeah.
I went back to TCU. They let me back in school, paid for my master's.
So you're 5th year. No.
No, yeah, like, so like I graduated, but like, so now I was a graduate assistant.
Okay.
So I came back as a GA. They paid for my school, finished my master's. I'm helping, break down film, watching
I didn't know
film.
you had a master's, man. What do you have a master's in?
Liberal arts.
Okay.
And so, sometimes the GA,
Yeah.
you got to practice with the team because maybe they don't have enough on the scout team.
Yeah.
So I'm still in shape. I've been playing.
Yeah.
So I'm in practice every day. I'm busting ass. I'm kicking their ass. I'm like, damn, like.
I still got it, man.
I still got it.
Yeah.
So this was April. I was like, Coach, I think I want to fucking play.
Yeah.
So he was like, well, you got to find an agent. So I found the agent. I got some game film from my last year. At
Okay.
TCU,
At your senior year.
the year
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
Sent it to him. He called me about 2 months later, got me a deal in Germany in July. I left in August. History.
Okay. So we're gonna get into that. So that's a lot to unpack, bro. Yeah. So you're Frito-Lay driving truck,
driving fucking Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay unloading. And that's got to be hard work at your size, right?
Hard,
like bending up, all that shit.
Roll
right?
the big ass carts off the truck.
Yeah.
Taking the boxes, put them in the back.
Yeah.
Go and refill it. It was,
Yeah. Did you ever feel kind of like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but like kind of like this is demeaning.
Absolutely.
Like this is, I'm better than this, 100%. Right? And to all you delivery guys, I love you all. You make the world go round. No disrespect. But for you as a person, individually.
Absolutely. And then also too, what fucked me up was like I go on Facebook, my friends playing in Europe and like living a life.
Your teammates.
My teammates, some of my other friends that played at other places. I'm like, I'm fucking in Walmart, hands black as shit, putting these chips on the shelf.
Yeah.
So that kind
and then
of
some random dude, man. Hey, man, if you just made more shots,
he said you made more jump shots, you wouldn't be here.
But see, I think I love that story because I think I'm in my 40s year. I forget how old you are. 39.
Yeah.
You get a point in life where you look back on your life and then you think you can envision being that dude telling yourself,
100%. Yeah, you can.
Man, have you just read more books? If you just ... how different your life would be. Mm-hmm. At all these stages in your life, man.
Yes.
I remember playing I play video games.
Yeah.
Sega Genesis first came out. It was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And you spend hours on that. Hours. Madden football, whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, if I had just learned coding.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before the internet, the software blew up.
Change your life.
Change your life, man.
Yeah.
Change your life tremendously. Wow.
Yeah.
So you get kind of the reality check from this. You remember this guy's name?
I don't remember his name. I don't
I was give him a call up, man, and say, hey, yo, man,
name.
So you changed my life.
He did change my life, yeah.
So then you get back into TCU. But that took a lot of humility too, right? To call your coach and say, hey, man,
I don't like this shit. I need help, basically.
Yeah.
It was a cry for help, really.
Yeah.
Like, I need help.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Can you help me?
So I think that's another quality. So before you're like vulnerable with your mom when you left college, now you're like, at least you were self-aware enough to understand something was off.
Yes.
Like, this is not what you're supposed to do. This doesn't vibrate with what I'm trying to get out of life, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so interesting audience. There's a book by Gary V, who's famous.
That's my guy.
Is Gary V called 12 and a Half, his most recent book. I'm Almost Done. It's a great book about, and self-awareness is in that. So, so you back at TCU, get an agent.
Yep.
Now you're playing in Germany, man.
I'm in Germany.
What's that
It was
like?
fantastic.
Dude? Yeah.
It's the most fun I ever had playing basketball.
Is it really?
Oh
Why?
my God.
Because you found it again, or
Because
because
I found it again, and then like I was really good, and I became like one of the best players in the league in Germany.
Oh, okay.
And it was off the court life was great. Like we were in the club.
So where in Germany? Like
in a city called Lich,
Lich.
Lich.
Okay, is that along the Rhine River?
No, it's about 45 minutes south of Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'd always fly into Frankfurt, drive to Lich.
Okay.
Or a city called Gießen, which is used to be a big army base.
Okay.
Yeah, U.S. Army base.
Culture shock?
Yes, with the language barrier, but a lot of people in Germany spoke English.
Yeah.
And with the army base being there, Germany was very very westernized. It was.
Yeah.
It's not like going like to Poland or Eastern Europe. It was. It's West Europe,
Western Europe, West Germany. Yeah.
And so they are. Everybody spoke English there, and like I said, with the American base there, it made it a lot easier for me just to kind of live. Of course, the time difference is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
The language barrier sometimes was huge, but Germany was a great place.
Were you the only American on your team?
I had one other American, my guy Mark Reed.
Okay.
He's now the coach at Strength in Motion Prep School, which is also in my conference.
Okay.
That was my teammate. He was 30 at the time. I was 23. So
he's a veteran.
Meeting Mark Reed, without him, I would not have made it through the whole year. I want to come home with so many. Again, I'm born and raised in Texas, Houston, Texas. Like, I'm 1,000 miles away, no family.
Yeah.
I miss my mom, my dad.
Yeah.
I miss everything about
It's
the
before
States.
FaceTime, before
we
that,
had,
man, right?
We had the
webcam.
The webcam.
Yeah.
The webcam.
Yeah.
You know? So I miss my family. I miss everything about being in the States, but he talked me off the ledge several nights, several days.
Just lonely nights, or
for Thanksgiving one day, we went to the convenience store. We called it the kebab store.
Yeah.
And we had chicken sandwiches for Thanksgiving. And I cried that day, like, this is fucking, like, I mean, chicken sandwiches on Thanksgiving. I have a big family, so
yeah,
we used to all been around all my family and friends.
Yeah, all the love and support.
Yeah, eating chicken sandwich and French fries for Thanksgiving. But he was like, yo, listen, it won't always be like this.
Yeah.
He was like, you're a rookie. It's your first year. He was like, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah.
But it was hard.
How much you getting paid?
Very little money, like $2,000 a month. Because I was a rookie.
Just over the season, and the season's how long?
10 months, so $20,000.
So $20,000 a year.
Yep.
But they stipend you living.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They give you a car, give you apartment. But again, I didn't have great stats.
Yeah.
My senior year in college.
Yeah.
I'd already sat out a whole year.
Yeah.
For working at Frito-Lay and being a GA, so I was coming in like I was lucky to get that job in Germany.
Okay, how did that? Like your agent put you there, but did you have to go try out and put in work, or just film only and like come on over?
Film only. The coach was like, he had an American coach, which was really big my freshman year.
Yeah,
I had an American coach. He saw the film. I was a young guy, cheap. They got me for cheap.
Yeah,
let's do it. But I ended up being Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, First Team All League. I mean, it was a great. I had a great season. I learned a lot, not only about myself, but about being a pro basketball player.
Yeah, so. We'll talk about that, and that's going to lead us into what you're doing now. But do you think you would have had that type of first-year European pro had you not had that break from basketball?
That's a really good question.
If you had gone straight from TCU to overseas, would you have had that?
No, I wouldn't have.
And why do you say that? Like
that year made me hungry, and it made me even work harder again the year I was out.
Yeah.
So the year I didn't play, I missed it so much. Like I played in leagues, but when I got back to TCU, like I started lifting more. I was getting up shots because I was like, yo, I can play.
Yeah.
So I had to get ready to play. So again, I got ready to go to Germany that August 06. That summer, I just worked my ass off.
So Frito-Lay is a blessing in disguise.
Yes, it was.
Right?
Very much so a blessing. I learned a little bit about like corporate America.
Yeah.
And I learned some shit like, you know what? I don't know if I'll ever be able to work for anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
I'm a control freak. I like to set my own shit. Like
well, I would say you like to determine your own outcome.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Take control of your own destiny, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, so Germany, you played there how many years?
1 year. Just
1 year. Okay.
1 year only in Germany.
So you balled out.
Balled out.
And then what happened?
I got a lot of calls to go back to Germany. Got calls from France, and then I got an opportunity to play in Switzerland.
Okay, that's where you went?
With the team, and there was the ULEB Cup, which is like a step on the Euro League back then.
Okay.
And the money was 10 times what I made. Well, not 10, I made like 110. So it was way better money.
Yeah.
Almost.
6 figures.
6 figures, almost 8 times what I made in Germany.
Yeah, 6-figure contract.
Yep, 6-figure contract. The only thing is it was in Switzerland.
Okay, why did that matter?
Small
Like what?
place.
Oh,
They did not speak very much English at all.
Okay, where was this? What's the city or
The
town?
city called Fribourg, Switzerland.
Okay,
It's about an hour and 10 minutes from Geneva.
Okay,
I love my time in Fribourg. It was a great
Yeah.
place. I played there 2 years, back-to-back years.
okay,
Very professional club. I had a great apartment, a great.
Yeah.
And me, I complain about everything.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like Germany.
Right.
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 Germany, you can go out every night. Like Germany was like living in fucking Texas. Like
Yeah.
we go out and kick it with the dudes on the army base at the
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
You can meet women. You can do anything you want. But in Switzerland, it was very chill. Nothing to do really. A
You
bunch
just-
of like culture. It was just basketball. And again,
It's just you and your mind and your
at a
thoughts.
39-year-old.
Yeah.
When I was 25, I should have been fucking exploring the country.
Oh yeah. By the Euro Pass, your
Oh,
train
man,
rides all over the place.
But I was just, again, thinking about being in the States.
Yeah.
The
You're the only
homesick
American on the
shit.
Switzerland team, or
No, we had 2 other Americans, so it was
Okay.
3 of us.
okay.
And one guy was established, his wife was there, he had a nice apartment, so I would go hang out with Dave and his wife, but it wasn't like, again.
It's not like kicking it loose. There's
Yeah,
a
it's
difference between a
different.
single 25-year-old and a guy that has a family, right?
I was
Yeah.
young and
Different
immature.
priorities. Yeah.
I was young and immature.
Yeah,
I should have been
yeah.
focusing on, again, even in Switzerland,
Yeah.
I should have been fucking working on my game more.
Yeah.
We would have voluntary nights before the game working on like free throws and shooting. I would never go. Well, I'm a pro now.
Yeah.
But
I don't need
shot
that
like
work.
57% from the fucking free throw line. You know, I could have been working on my game even more. Even to help me 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
To get more money playing basketball.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something, man. So comfort is the destroyer of dreams, bro.
And again, that's
Destroyer
this shit
of
taught me.
dreamings.
So now, like, I'm a grinder. Like, yo, I'm gonna get it.
Just
by any
keep
means.
going.
I'm
Any
like,
means, yeah.
I'm not
Because
gonna stop.
once you think you're at the top, like you see, we
You're
just
not at the
talked
top.
about, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even now, where I'm in business now,
Yeah.
like I think I'm at the top, but like I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not at the top. I
No.
gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Well, either if you don't, you're standing still where somebody else
Somebody's
is
gonna
catching
catch me.
up.
I
There you
can't-
go. There you
no,
go.
I cannot let somebody. Catch
Okay, so 2 years in Switzerland, making
years in
good
Switzerland.
money,
Good
saving
money.
up.
So then, other teams in Switzerland are interested in me.
Yeah.
So there was a new team that was being formed in Geneva. They wanted me to be the captain. I won 3 championships in 2 years in Switzerland.
Okay.
So I kind of built a reputation. So that next year I played in Geneva, my 3rd year in Switzerland. My 4th year in Switzerland I played in the city of Basel.
Yeah.
And so we won the Swiss Cup. It was a big deal. Then my last year I went to the Italian side of Switzerland, played for a team, Chiasso.
Okay.
In
So you moved
Chiasso.
teams quite a bit.
Yeah.
Is that because it was like you were getting better and better, or kind of like what?
That's how it is in Europe. Most times, like you get 1-year deals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They never like long-term
Now
contracts.
some guys get 3-4. Some guys get 3-year deals, but nobody in Europe. There's no 10-year deals in Europe.
Okay. And it's
Some
not
guys
guaranteed money either,
no,
right?
Oh well, no, it's not guaranteed money. No,
Like the NBA.
like the NBA. No.
Okay.
But I was very fortunate in Switzerland to play for a place where I got my money. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And so you mentioned your other guy, your teammate, who like
Yeah,
didn't
one
get
of my
paid for
college
6
teammates,
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't get paid for 6 months. She was crazy.
Where he play?
He
So
played
it's like that all around the world, right?
all
Yeah.
around the world.
Okay.
Yeah, guys don't get paid. Yeah, all over. But he played in second league Italy. His rookie year, he didn't get paid for 6 months.
Did he ultimately get his money?
He
Just
got,
curious,
he
man.
got it. He had to get a lawyer and go through the whole process.
That's
but he
pain in
didn't
the
get
ass. You don't
pain
want
in
that,
the ass.
dude.
No.
You don't want that. So was the NBA ever
Oh yeah, it was
in
always
the the zone
Yeah,
of like
so-
possibilities?
So after my first year in Switzerland, I had a pretty good year there too. It was a lot of
So
visibility.
you have your senior year in college. Germany is a great year. Switzerland's a great year.
So now I got more visibility. So now I'm 25. Like I'm in the G League. Well, back then it was called the D League. It's kind of jumping off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like maybe like this may be my last chance to maybe get into the league. Let me try this D League thing. So I got drafted in the D League draft
Who'd you play with?
in the 3rd round, Reno.
Reno. Okay.
So they drafted me there,
And that's the feeder to
NBA.
Yeah, but which team or organization?
It was, Reno was the feeder to the Kings. actually, back
Sacramento
then,
Kings.
yeah.
Okay.
So I got drafted in the 3rd round. I just left my team in Fribourg, Switzerland. It's November of 2008 now.
Okay.
And so back then you had a cutoff date. If you got drafted in the D League, if they cut you, you can go to Europe, no problem. But if you sign a contract, they had to pay the G League team $30,000 plus whatever you're gonna make in Europe. Like so
Who pays this?
your European club. If they want you from the D League back in the day, they had to pay the G League a fee plus pay whatever they're gonna pay you. Right.
Got it.
So I knew that. So I go to the D-League training camp. It was fucking intense. It was crazy.
Was it a
tough.
level above European basketball?
No, it was the same, but it's the guy everybody wants to that carrot. Like,
Yeah.
You make this D-League, you get a chance to play in the NBA. So
Yeah.
it was tough.
Yeah.
So it was very
all
tough,
out.
all out. And I was only there for 3 days. Then I got an email from the GM of my team from Freeware. They were like, "Hey, we want you to come back. You can get the same money," because they decided to sign another guy the year after I left. Hey, we're gonna go a different direction. I'm like, all right, I'm not, cool.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool. That's a business decision. Yeah.
Because I complained so fucking much. I'm sure it's probably part of my fault too. I was complaining about little shit.
Yeah.
Like just being immature.
Okay.
So, but I guess the guy that had didn't work out. So he emailed me on my birthday, which was the cut date for the D-League team.
Go, man. Decisions.
So if they signed me that day, my European team in Switzerland had to pay $30,000 and get me out of that contract and pay me my salary.
Okay.
So I emailed him. He was like, "Hey, we can't afford to pay the D-League fee. So can you ask them to cut you?" So I went to my coach, and they hadn't decided on who's going to make the team anyway. So I was like, and my
They
coach,
had or had not?
They had not
Okay.
yet. And so we were in a hotel in Reno. And so I met him in the lobby. I was like, "Coach, like," and luckily for me, his name was Jay Humphreys. He played in Europe before. I was like, "Listen," I showed him the email. I was like, "This is the email I got." I was like, "Can y'all please cut me?" Because I was like, I was going to get a C contract in the D-League, which was like $1,200 a month. It's nothing.
That's nothing.
Tax.
Yeah,
Tax.
Nothing. In California, man, you're walking away with like $600.
So I was like, "This is what I can make in Europe. Can y'all cut me?" Like, "Yeah, no problem."
Okay.
So they cut me.
Yeah.
I left the next morning, flew back home to Houston,
Yeah.
and flew to Switzerland 2 days later.
Okay. And that was the extent of trying to get to the NBA.
That was the extent.
Yeah. Did you deep down? Do you think you had the skills?
I don't think so. If I was born in a different time, or if I was more skilled on the perimeter, maybe.
Yeah.
But for my position, no, I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you're honest, right?
No,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, how? Okay. So you play in Switzerland for like five years.
5 straight years.
And then
I go play in France my last year.
Okay.
So my dad was diagnosed with brain cancer in the spring of 2009. 2009, yes. So I was in Freiburg. My mom called me. She's like, "Hey, they found a spot on your dad's brain."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What does that mean?" Well, she said, "Well, we went to Austin. The sunlight was like bothering his eyes. He couldn't even stand it. We had to go in the hotel and close the curtains." And then when I got him home, he just like started vomiting. We got him home right away. So I was like, "That's weird." So he said, we got an MRI. He had a spot on his brain. I said, "Well, what type of spot is that? Cancerous spot." Maybe a tumor. I was like, "What?" My dad's the strongest person I ever met in my life. What does that mean?
Yeah.
They was gonna have to have brain surgery. So I'm like, again, I'm not even understanding the severity. Like, "Okay, yeah, brain surgery, go back to work." They were like, well, it was like, there's no, they don't know if it'll come back because he has a chance to come back. So he has a surgery, spring 2009. He's back at work in the summer of 2009. He got a little scar. He's rolling. So 2012, I get another call. We had to go to the doctor because he had went through radiation chemo.
So you're in Germany in 2012.
No, 2012, I'm still here in the States. I hadn't left yet. I hadn't decided on what team I'm going to yet.
Okay, so you already played France.
No, I had not played France yet.
Okay, I played France. Okay.
This was like October of 2013.
Okay.
2012, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, we all got to meet at the doctor's office. The cancer's back." I'm like, "Okay, cool." We get to the doctor's, and like my whole family's there. My uncles, my aunts,
You're
my
like,
grandma.
why? Yeah.
I'm like, "Fuck is this?" Doctor comes in, he's like, "Mr. Sloan, there's nothing more we can do for you. The cancer is back.
Yeah.
And your brain is probably gonna spread." They're like, "We're gonna give you 6 months to live." So I'm looking around the place like, what do you mean there's nothing? So then they was like, "You can."
No one ever wants that.
They're like, "Yo," and then they told them like, "You can still try to fight it and give you more chemo radiation," but he was like, "We're not sure how much it's gonna help." And the radiation chemo took a lot out of you the first time.
Quality of life is gonna be terrible. Yeah.
So, well, we talked about it as a family, and my dad was like, "I'm gonna fight it," but my mom, she had already done the research.
Yeah.
Because it's a facility in Oklahoma City, it's a cancer facility in Oklahoma City. And my dad was talking about going there, but she was like, "Honey, we're already at
MD Anderson.
MD Anderson. There's no better place in the world than this."
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. So that was October. By November, you could tell he's kind of walking to the side. So I got the call to go to France in November. I was gonna be like, hey, you gonna go to France? I'm like, cool. I went to France. I came home in January. So went to France, November, December. Came home for the Christmas break. It was January.
Yeah.
Now my dad is really like going down. I could tell.
Declining bad.
Declining. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I might just have to stay. Right? So I decided I didn't go back.
Okay.
I thought he would have wanted me to be here,
Of course.
with the family. So by Father's Day, he's in a walker. He passed away in August. He's hospice in July.
Yeah.
So, that's January.
Yeah.
So June, he's in a walker. Hospice July, passed away in August.
Okay.
So now it's August 2013.
Of the next year, yeah.
And so that's the time when people really go back to Europe to play again. Season starts August, September. And so I just was like, my dad just passed away. My son was just born. I think I should stay here for my family.
Yeah.
So I just decided to hang it up 2013. So that
Okay.
France 2012, really not even 2013. 2012 was my last
Like half
year
of a
for-
season.
Half a season.
Half a season.
Yep.
Okay, so it wasn't as if you couldn't play.
Correct. And
Like or you didn't have the skills or none of that.
I
It was just a conscious
emotionally,
decision.
I was like, I think it was a lot. I probably
Yeah.
should just retire.
Yeah.
But again, in hindsight, I probably should have kept playing.
Yeah.
I at least had another 3-4 years in me at least.
Yeah.
But once I decided to stop playing, I had to figure something out.
Yeah, commit, right? You had to commit
then-
to okay. So before we move into that to where we are like now with what you're doing, man, that decision to say
Yeah, it was tough.
hanging up like
It's different.
because you never got like a final game
No,
or
correct.
like
a final
a
season.
final
even.
season,
Yeah, no.
like hey,
Yeah.
nah, I know it's time. I can't run as fast. I can't jump as high. I
Correct.
can't
Yeah.
do these things. It was just like, hey,
It was timing.
it's time.
Yep.
It's time.
Yep.
Oh man.
Very-
I'm trying to go through that thought process,
I
man,
was
because
30
you're
years
like,
old.
because you got gas in the tank,
Yeah.
right? Most people want to just like, let me just empty it out, right?
I think it was more so an emotional decision as opposed to me really thinking about it logically.
Okay.
And because my dad got great joy out of me playing in Europe.
Yeah.
Great joy.
It's like
So-
like that subconscious motivator
so,
for you, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, well, he's not here anymore. Like, my mom needs me. My family needs me.
Did you call any
Just-
coaches, talk to them about it, or is this just
Just
you
made a decision.
just you saying, okay, it's
done.
time.
Yep.
It's time.
And probably again, just grieving, not even
Yeah.
knowing what I was really.
What you're thinking?
Yeah,
It's
breathing.
like it's just
Yeah.
I can imagine that,
Yeah.
man. I can
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah.
Anything do you think would have happened at that time that would have changed your mind? I know I'm speculating, but
Probably if maybe my mother would have called and been like, "I want you to go play,"
yeah,
or "You should go play." Your dad would have wanted you to play. Maybe
Yeah.
that would have been like, you know what? Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Let's go back to Trey. Like, where's he this whole time you're playing in Europe?
He's in Houston,
Okay,
and so
still
it's
supporting you, of course.
still supporting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something we talk about as a family, my wife and I. Even with him, when I left for college, when he was a freshman in high school.
Okay,
He was a sophomore year. I was a freshman at TCU. That was the first time we'd ever been away from each other. So even our relationship started to change from that point on.
okay. He
So
become his
now-
own deal. You come, yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who I am.
yeah,
So is he.
yeah,
I stopped coming home in the summer because I want to go to summer school because I want to graduate because
Yeah.
my mom stressed the importance of graduating college, getting a degree.
yeah.
So I stopped coming home as much. I would come home for Thanksgiving, Christmas for a day,
Yeah.
and that's really it for
Yeah.
4 years. And then my last year, they will come up sometime to come see me play. I think he came a couple times. So our relationship kind of changed. And then when I was in Europe, again, one of those things, I'm 7 hours away.
Yeah. Time difference.
Time difference.
Yeah.
So now when I come home in the summer, we hang out. We go to the club and pool parties and
Chill.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like brothers, man. Like you could spend
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2
Absolutely.
years apart. You come back together. Hey,
Yes.
we're hanging. Not
Yeah.
just blood brothers, but like friends. Like
yes.
I got guys I don't need to see them for 3, 4, 5 years, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden we meet up again. It's like nothing happened.
yeah,
It's like
no-
we're
no
we
time has
no
passed.
time has
Yeah.
passed. Exactly. Okay, so you retire now, kind of move into what's going on, like sort
So
of
I
what.
retire. Luckily for me, I had always done basketball camps every summer, the entire summer, even when I played.
Okay.
Because for my boys who were also played overseas, like you know, it was easy. It was easy money for us, and it was a way to us stay involved in the game.
Yeah.
Be around kids, helping kids,
Yeah.
and make money. So I had summer camps since 2008.
Okay.
Every summer, even when I played. So now it's the summer of 13. Now I'm here full time. Like, oh, this camp has sustained me. So Shoot to Score Hoops has sustained me for like 2 full years, really.
Yeah.
So then I started going to basketball tournaments, AU tournaments. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, these dudes making a lot of money, these AU tournaments.
You're talking about the promoters.
The promoters,
And the organizers, the operators. Yeah, okay.
They make, I'm like, I go in a tournament, I paid $10, but as I'm walking up, I'm counting the cars like, wow, like hundreds of cars here.
Yeah.
Everybody paid $10. I started doing the math like,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money in this shit.
Yeah. Every player's got a parent or two, or a grandma or two, or a brother or sister,
what I
whatever,
call it,
man.
Every parent has 1.2 is what I call
Yeah,
it.
yeah, okay. Every player got 1.2. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm looking at all the people in the parking lot like, there's a lot of people in here, man. This dude's getting money. So I was like, I might try my hand at fucking basketball tournaments.
Yeah, okay.
So that was summer 2014.
Okay.
14, my first tournament.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm going to do basketball tournaments.
Okay. And what was that tournament called? You remember?
It's called Get Ready Go Live.
Get Ready Go Live tournament.
The one I'm still doing now.
Okay,
actually.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That was my first big basketball tournament. And again, I'm hungry. I want to prove myself. I got a family. I want to make money. And
Yeah.
I want to be impactful.
Yeah.
So let me just keep building. So
Okay.
like it just kind of what I'm doing now. Just I'll do things not knowing what's next.
Okay. But so what? That's an interesting point, because people. So is that a goal-driven thing, or is that just a leap of faith, or is
It's
it
just-
sort of, what is it that's like allows you to say, hey, let me just do this and see what
know,
is it self-confidence?
Yeah,
It's like, what is it that
I am,
you know?
yes, it's all the above. I'm very self-confident. I think
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Right.
Like I tell people, I can do a podcast. I can be in the movies. I can be on TV.
Yeah.
I can do tournaments.
Nothing's out of the realm of possibility.
Nothing's out of the realm. So for
Yeah.
me, I'll do a tournament. And so I think the beauty for me is having an idea,
Okay.
putting it on paper,
Yeah.
then seeing it come to life.
Okay.
That's what we talked about earlier, my journey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a part of my journey for me. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like I was thinking about doing this shit 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah.
I wrote it all out.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. So that's an interesting process. So it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Think about it,
me,
write
yeah.
about it, execute it.
Now I wish. And now the details not that simple.
Okay.
But yes,
But conceptually.
conceptually, I
Yes.
think about I want to have a big event. Cool.
Okay.
This is where I want to do the event. I want to have these teams in the event.
Okay.
Now I have to market it,
Yeah.
put it on paper, market it,
Okay.
get the flyer done,
Yeah.
get the registration link done. It's out now.
Okay.
Now I got to work, get all these teams.
Okay.
Email, text,
Yeah.
call,
Yeah.
social media.
Okay.
Promote
so,
it.
So you're getting a little ahead. Let me go back to that first
Okay.
tournament, man.
First tournament.
First
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
Make money?
I
Was
did,
it
man.
a popular?
I made
Like,
a
what
little
was
money,
the how many teams? Yeah.
It was hard because I wasn't in AAU tournaments. People knew who I was and knew I played. But they didn't know me as the event operator.
The organizer. Okay. Yeah.
So it took me a while. Like, I had my business partner Martin Rogers. He was established
Okay.
in doing tournaments with Total Package, his organization, AAU organization. So I met Martin Rogers. I told him what I wanted to do. I said, like, he knew I was doing camps in the Missouri City area
Okay.
where he lived. I said, I want to do basketball tournaments. He said, I'm already doing tournaments. Let's collaborate. So people knew he was doing tournaments. We collaborated.
Okay.
He had the majority of the teams because of his contacts with the Total Package AAU basketball
Yeah. He's
program.
got the distribution list, so to speak.
So I collaborated. I learned how to deal with people and teams. Then I started like slowly but surely figuring out, okay, I can do this too.
Okay. So that's interesting because Martin would have viewed you as an up-and-coming competitor,
Well, yeah,
so to speak, right? Yeah, right? Like, hey, like if a lawyer comes knocking on my door and saying,
Yeah.
yo, man, I want to do your business, but I
Yeah.
want you to teach me the ropes. You're like,
some people
wait
get
a minute, wait a minute.
100%. But no, Martin, he took me under his wing. He was like, okay, cool, let's work together. Which is why, again, even we're in business today, we're still in business today because he took me under his wing when he didn't really have to.
Right.
So he showed me the ropes, showed me how to do things. I mean, I think we learning from each other now, but he definitely like gave me the foundation.
Give you the runway to get it going.
100%.
Okay.
And he could have took it a different way. Now, what I always tell people too is I would have done it anyway. You know? Like,
Yeah.
Let's say Martin's like, I don't want to help you.
Yeah.
Figure it out on your own. I would have
Still figured it out. Maybe take it longer.
It would take me a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I would have worked a little harder, but I would have figured it out.
Figured it out.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So now take that. Yes, 2013. You've been doing organizing and promoting tournaments and leagues and so on for the last 7 years. So what are you doing like today, and how did you grow into that? Like what
today?
Yeah.
I have a lot of different things. I have my own basketball scouting service.
Okay. What's that called?
OTR Exposure.
Okay. When did you start that?
I started OTR Exposure in 2018.
Okay. And what exactly does it do? Like, what exactly is OTR Exposure?
OTR Exposure is a Texas-based scouting service, meaning I go around the country looking for high school prospects to send to different colleges, and college coaches, college basketball programs, they subscribe to my service.
Okay.
So my service is to help them find basketball players for their college basketball program.
Okay. And dig into that a little bit. Are you calling coaches saying, hey, look, who you looking for in this class? Like, what do you need?
It's both. So
or is it like, I got this guy that might fit your program?
They'll call me, I'll call them.
Okay.
Or I'll publish my report. They'll ask me about certain guys, or I'll tweet about certain guys.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, what's up on this kid? Who's the decision maker in this process? What's his number? What's his parents' number? And so it kind of worked like that. Now they know that I am close to players and connected to players. They take my service.
Okay.
And so then from there spawned OTR Exposure events.
Okay. Talk about that.
I was doing ball out events.
So you started that in 2018 just as a scouting
service
and recruitment
only.
kind of deal.
I had no idea what it turned into.
Okay.
I just was doing a scout. One of my friends was Dane Irvin, has his own scouting service. He was going around the country. I was like, I've been evaluating players since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
I evaluated my opponents.
Yeah.
I always loved scouting reports when I was in college.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
So that I can do this too.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, shit, you're reading your own scouting reports, man.
One of the things, like I said, like, no one really, Dane kind of gave me the ropes and taught me, hey, showed me what I can do, but like, I had to learn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it yourself.
I learned it.
Yeah.
And so I started doing scouting reports and writing reports, and then people started taking my service.
Yeah.
So the first time someone paid me, I was like, damn, people really pay you for your service, like for this reports?
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, create value, people will pay. That's the bottom line about anything, right?
So now I have 72 schools subscribed to my service.
Okay.
So
all JUCO to D1.
To Division I, yes.
Yeah. NIAA.
I have some NAIA clients, some D2 clients, but primarily Division I, Division II.
Okay.
Excuse me, Division I.
Division I. Okay, cool.
So, start OTR Exposure Scouting Service. I'm coaching AU with the Houston Defenders.
Yeah.
And I'm also doing ball out events with Martin tournaments.
Okay.
And so, OTR Exposure the last 2 years is kind of like taking off.
It's evolved.
It's evolved.
Okay, into what?
Monster.
Like kind of like
For
our audience, man. Talk to me about that. What's going on?
It's evolved to events.
When you say events, like
basketball tournaments, basketball camps, basketball showcases.
Okay.
Scholastic high school showcases. It's evolved.
Like, talk to me about what kind of players, teams are coming.
Teams are high-level players, high-level teams from across the country, international teams even. And so primarily OTR Exposure, we deal with a wide range of prospects from kids in the 8th grade, sometimes 7th grade, all the way to high school seniors.
Yeah.
And so I want to touch as many kids as I can. I want to help as many kids as I can. I want to put as many kids as I can in college.
Okay. So that's your, like, I was going to ask you,
what's
the goal? What's the mission? What's your vision
my vision is, I call myself, I want to be the biggest.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be the biggest in the game.
Biggest what? Biggest?
Just biggest, period. Biggest event operator. Biggest in the grassroots space.
Okay.
Biggest in the event space.
Nationwide,
worldwide. I want to do college events I want to be the biggest at whatever I do. Yeah. And again, I'm not sure what's next. Yeah. So even now I'm the commissioner of my own basketball high school conference, the SWAC.
Okay, yeah. Talk to me about that.
Southwest Athletic Interscholastic Conference.
SWAIC.
2 years ago, if you would have said, hey, Sloan, you're on your conference, I'd be like, maybe not, but probably.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Something may spawn from it. So, from OTR Exposure, spawned the SWAC.
Okay.
I created my own high school, private school, charter school, homeschool basketball conference.
Okay.
So we have 9 teams in our national division. 7 are Texas-based. I have one school in New Orleans, Sean Dumas Academy, one school in Colorado Prep, We also have post-grad programs. We have 8, and then we have 8 regional varsity teams.
Okay, so when you say post-grad, that's like a prep school 1 year after
high school graduation.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
And so this is spawned. I go to Colorado tomorrow for my SWAC league.
Okay.
Again, even last year when I first started during the pandemic, I had 6 Texas teams.
Yeah.
This is varsity only.
Yeah.
And in a year, we've blown up to this.
Yeah.
And we're going to Colorado. I went to New Orleans last week.
Yeah, I remember being to an event and you had, what, the number 2 team in the nation come through?
Yeah, so like my high school events, obviously partnership with you really helped me out tremendously.
Yep.
Your contributions.
Yep.
We were able to get 3 of the top 25 schools in the country to come to Houston to play.
Yeah.
So just a part of the brand growing, part of my network growing, meeting you, having an opportunity to learn from you.
Yeah, it's two-way street, man. Two-way street. Yeah.
So that's also been very impactful.
Yeah.
The things I do
Appreciate
daily.
that, man. Appreciate that.
So just it's one of those things whereas you never know who you're going to meet in this business.
Yeah.
And it happens in all over walks of life and things you do. You just never know.
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, me evolving, even taking a meeting with you maybe 4 years ago, I was too immature to take it. I don't need anybody's help.
Yeah.
Well, now I know I need help.
Yeah.
If I want to get to
grand success never happens alone, man.
I can't do everything by myself, and I'm learning that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. So let's unpack that a little bit. So you got the SWAC, you got OTR Exposure,
Ball Out events.
And
now Shoot to Score Hoops is coming back also.
Okay, so summer camps,
spring break camps coming back. So
okay.
All under one umbrella.
How you handle it all, man? It's just you, or like what's going on here?
I have a good team. You're part of my team.
Yeah.
I have Mariposa. She's a part of our team too.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to. With delegation,
yeah, that's a big challenge for me. When you're the top dog, man, it's tough.
I'm a control freak,
Yeah.
So I like to, but learning how to delegate, learning how to receive help, learning how to express myself when I need help, is something I'm still working on. It's a everyday process for me.
Yeah. Alpha males have a hard time asking for help
Very
sometimes,
hard
man.
time. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's cool, man. So like, what are the nearest events coming up that people if they're interested, can check out?
We're in Colorado, obviously.
We're in Colorado.
Denver, Wednesday through Friday for my conference. After that, I'll have a small tournament January 29th and 30th. I'm kind of helping with the Houston Defenders.
Yep.
My guys, they're doing a small tournament, so I'll be covering that. And then my big event is March 18th through the 20th, the OTR Exposure Takeover. It's my first event of my tournament series. I have 5 events throughout the spring and summer.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going after, man. It's a big date for me.
Yeah.
New event.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
Very cool, man. So what I'm hearing, man, in our entire conversation, I love your story, bro. It's like inspirational, man. Yeah, for sure. Is you have, and it's contributed to your success, you have this open-mindedness about possibilities.
Absolutely. They are endless.
Yeah, endless. And then when you marry that with confidence, then you can kind of, if you have that self-confidence and that drive, you can just figure it out and get to where you want to go.
Listen, Young Jeezy, one of my favorite rappers, he had a line. He said, you can do anything you put your mind to, put your grind to.
Right.
And so for me, it's always been the case is like, it's the same. It's called the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
and really, that's how I live my life. Like, you can do anything you want to.
Yeah.
If you have a plan and you really work at it.
Yeah.
And you have the confidence that you can get it done.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yeah. So where did that come from for you, man? Like, what? Is it just your life experience, or like what's going on here?
She told me when I was younger, she was like, you could be the president. She always told me you could do anything you want. You could be the president. You could be the astronaut. You can be a doctor, a lawyer. And I really believed her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she always said, if you really work at it, you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
And so now, I always want to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
I want to be in the league, right? That's my goal. But I didn't really understand the work it took, really, in saying that.
Okay.
Now, flip side, when I say I want to be the biggest, I understand the work it takes now.
Yeah,
I'm older, obviously. I understand the grind, the sacrifices.
Maturity, right?
The maturity of it. I understand, like, I have to work smarter. I have to work harder. You have to be connected.
Yeah.
And you have to have this undying, unwavering self-belief. And sometimes in this shit, as you know, as an entrepreneur, like, you're gonna have doubts.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
more doubts than
fear,
not, man.
Like, you can't, like, can I really do this shit?
Insecurities.
Am I really capable? Can I handle this?
Yeah.
That's where the unwavering faith and belief in yourself has to come in and be like, yo, you can do anything.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. And obviously, okay, so just Normally I would close on that because that's a very positive note. But there's a reality to business and life too, right?
Yes.
Like on your way up, not everybody's gonna be there to.
Oh no.
Oh, you're gonna get haters.
Yeah.
You're gonna get doubters. You're gonna get competition. Like sort of, what are you experiencing these days, bro? Like what's like?
That's very.
If you want to put it out there on the table, you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm experiencing a situation, or I'm it's anything in life. Like when you're coming up and someone's been at the top, or people have been at the top for a while, and you're coming up and you want the spot.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be some type of conflict.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a born competitor. I've been competing my whole life.
Of course.
I'm not afraid of competition.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of competing.
Yeah.
So if that's what it takes for me to be the best, I'm gonna compete. And some people, they don't really understand what competition is.
Yeah.
Or like they fear the competition.
Yeah.
Or they want a monopoly. Well, with me, there is no fear of that for me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to compete for
the
the
top.
top
Put the best product out. Let the best man win, right?
Let the best man win. Or if it's a situation we both can coexist, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But just don't like try to stop me. Just don't try to block me.
Yeah.
From or impede on my progress.
Yeah.
Because really you can't really stop me.
Yeah.
And I won't let you stop me.
Yeah. So you bring up a good point. Like there's people think competition is just like mano sometimes, right? So but there's actually like a range of competition, like friendly competition where we coexist and actually it, I get better, you get better, that makes me get better, so we get the best product out there. And then there's like a killed or be killed kind of competition where zero-sum game, only one winner, only one guy at the top.
Right.
It's sports, right? There's only one winner, one loser. There's no like trophies for 15th place. It doesn't count.
Correct.
So, but that brings into the idea with I don't think many people understand is how that's competition defined as competition, but how we act as individuals doesn't have to be kind of a ruthless kind of deal, right?
For me, listen, it's even in business, Jack in the Box, they take shots at Chick-fil-A or McDonald's in commercials. I'm cool with taking the shots on the business. Yeah. But there's certain lines you cannot cross. Yeah. So once you cross a certain line in a fight or in a competition, you cannot cry or you cannot complain when the other person
is going to punch you back. Yeah. Yeah.
Like there is no, like you cannot bully me at all. So if it's a situation where you cross a line, I'm going to cross and I may not cross the same line, but now you cannot expect me to have a certain reaction to where you cross that line. Yeah. So now my next reaction, my next punch may hit you differently because you took it there. Yeah. I'm cool with it being friendly competition at all times. Yeah. Just don't cross it. Once you cross a certain line.
That line, personal.
If it's personal, I can't come back from it. Yeah. So now I'm going to handle you accordingly. Yeah. And if I handle you accordingly, just be prepared for that.
Yeah. That's the same mentality for me, man. In my lawyer work, it's like, hey, we can meet at the conference table, or we can meet by the bicycle rack, or at the park, or wherever you need to meet, wherever you want to go. We whatever you want to do.
I can take it wherever you want to take it.
Exactly, man. So, all right, man. So, like, where do you see Marcus Sloan?
People always ask me that question. Like,
20 years from now, what you doing, man?
20 years from now, I'll be 59 years old. That's hopefully
you can't predict the future, but like sort of what's in your mind's eye, bro?
Great question. 29 years
young,
old,
up and coming entrepreneur, man, running the basketball grassroots game.
Hopefully at 59, I've taken this company or my companies as far as I can take them. Mm-hmm. Maybe sold them, maybe pass them on to my kids. But I'll be enjoying life with my kids and my wife, and who is also a big motivator for me. Yeah, she gives me a lot of motivation. Good. She's fantastic. She's understanding. It wasn't easy at first her understanding like what I do and the calls I have to take and meetings I have to go to and time on social media and on watching TV, watching these games. Yeah. But, she's been fantastic. I couldn't do this without her. So just somewhere with her on vacation. Enjoying life. Probably. Yeah. Nice,
man. Nice. And you bring up a good point, man. You talked about it earlier. It's like where you go to college, who you get married to.
Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, how important is it that who you're with understands
the most important
being an entrepreneur, what it takes?
We have conversations all the time about me being 100% entrepreneur. Yeah. It's when you're 100% entrepreneur, it's different.
There's no 9 to 5.
There's no 9 to 5.
There's no clock in, clock out. There's no I expect you home at this time all the time.
She asked me, so now she asks me, well, what time do you approximately think you'll be home?
Okay.
That's a better question.
Yeah.
And what time you be home? But no, it's having a spouse or partner who understands the entrepreneurial life. Yeah. And even the entrepreneurial spirit, right? The entrepreneurial spirit is different.
Yeah, you got to walk through walls, bro.
Yeah, man. Like we look at things totally different than
that's very true.
normal people. So just having her starting to understand that now has been very extremely helpful. And I think we get along better because of it. And I always tell her, like, the places we go and things we have is because I'm trying to be the biggest and be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What is the big community vision? We talked about community support, like community giving back to the community. Like, what do you, as you grow and become top dog in this game, like what do you want to hope to do for the community?
I want to hope to show kids who play not just basketball but sports, boys and girls, that you can impact the community, you can change people's lives, you can help people, and not necessarily like make it to the league, right?
Yeah.
You could become a lawyer, doctor, teacher, pharmacist, and still be impactful.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's what I want to tell kids. Like, you necessarily have to, especially athletes, you don't have to make it to the league to be considered successful. Use all the things that you have learned and you were taught in the sport, in the game, and take that to wherever field you may go to.
Yeah.
And then you impact that field.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, you're a lawyer. Okay, you use basketball to get a college scholarship to become a lawyer. Now you're a lawyer. Go talk to some of these kids in these schools.
Yeah.
Go mentor them, right?
Yeah.
Go help put something in place and say, hey, kids, put a scholarship in place. Work on a committee, get a scholarship in place for basketball players who don't want to go to the NBA, who want to get a law degree or become a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way, you can be impactful in the community, not necessarily being a pro or make it to the NBA.
Yeah. So you're dealing with a lot of high school kids who have college playing aspirations.
Absolutely.
Not all of them going to make it.
Not all of them.
But you know, you're in that, you're exposed to them.
Yes.
And this will be the last question, man. What are the top, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 things you would tell aspiring high school hoopers to get to that next level?
The work never stops. One. Secondly, you have to really love the game. Don't do this if because social media makes it look cool, or your parents want you to, or because you're tall, or because you're fast. If you want to play college basketball, you have to really be in love with basketball to do it.
Yeah.
Because at that level, the next level, it's a business. Everything about it is a business. Going to school, playing basketball, maintaining a certain GPA, getting the extra work in, it becomes like a job, like a business. And so if you don't love it, if you're not in love with it, you'll look at it in a negative light, and you'll
resent it, right? You're going to resent it, yeah.
And lastly, I would tell them the importance of understanding like your place, right?
Okay.
Sometimes you can get lost in the game, and you get caught up in this, especially with social media. And I'm devil's advocate. I'm part of the problem too. I'll say that. Get caught up in the rankings and the hype and the tweets and the social media. Don't lose yourself.
Okay.
Right? Keep your hunger.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that.
Okay, don't compromise.
Don't compromise.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. So people interested in what you're doing, want to follow you, man, where can they find you on social media?
Social media on Twitter, I'm Big Sloan32, at Big Sloan32. On Instagram, I'm _Marcus Sloan.
Okay, how about your organization, your businesses?
SWAC is the SWAC, THESWAIC on Instagram and Twitter. OTR Exposure on Instagram and Twitter. And Ball Out Events on Instagram and Twitter.
Very cool, man.
Yep.
Man, I enjoyed this conversation, bro.
Happy to be here. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you being the first guest. A lot of information here for a lot of people, man, all across the board. Inspirational story, bro. A lot of real life values shared here, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, for sure. And again, my audience listening online on Spotify or iTunes or on YouTube, if you liked what you heard, if you were inspired by Sloan's story and felt got some value out of this, please do like and share. Again, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook at The Prolific Ninja or theprolificninja.com, and the podcast at the N2N podcast.com, also on social media, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Best of luck. Looking forward to all that you're about to roll out, man.
Absolutely.
And it's been a real one.
Thank you.
Okay, man. Best of 2022.
Appreciate that.
Prolific Ninja, out.
What's up, man?